125 main event coming up. I'm Larry Myers, along with Speed Vision analyst Robbie Floyd, who one time was the commentator, did a lot of voice stuff for this stuff, Arenacross. And Robbie, I'm glad to have you on this end of the camera for a change as we look at the starting lineup.
Well, the guy to watch for has to be Buddy Antunez. The first round of racing, he finished a second and a first place. Where does he have to go from there? I don't know. If he can keep that trend up, we'll see tonight. Pedro Gonzalez, another guy who's been hot as of tonight.
And there's so many guys. If you could pick a favorite out of here, I guess it would have to be Antunez. But really, in reality, the door is wide open for a whole slew of riders, including this guy, number 26, Heath Voss. Now they're getting set for the start in the middle of the track. The referee is getting a nod from the rest of the riders, or all of the riders, I should say. And it's good to point out that there are some riders on a second row or a back row. It can be interesting for them.
That's why you have to qualify the best you can early on. Get those inside front row picks.
Here we go. Gate is down. And it's a good start. All the riders made it through corner number one. And look at that. The Bud man clicked off another hole shot. And he would like to say, along with Chad Pedersen in second, goodbye to the rest of the field.
Hey, here comes Heath Voss. He said he has that 125 working a lot better tonight. But Antunez has a great start. He says that 2001 Suzuki is really fast. And Bill's Pipe definitely has it with a lot of motor behind him. And RG3 doing a great job with suspension. It's almost a continuation of what we've seen the past 2 or 3 years.
This is an interesting matchup. Number 11, Chad Pedersen. Rider number 26, Heath Voss. Now, Heath is a big, burly guy, and you just know, you never know, I should say, where number 11, Pedersen, is going to go. So one will do the leading, and the other one will ignore him, and that could be interesting, too.
Hey, Chad's no little boy either out there, and he's originally from Iowa, too, so he's got a lot of pride on the line.
Well, that's a very good point. Meanwhile, Buddy Antunez is out front and pulling away from the field. These two guys battling each other might be slowing each other off. And there goes Voss. Voss grabbed a handful in the whoops. I've said it before. He is the fastest guy out here in the whoop section. He just proved it right there. He takes over second place, drops Pedersen, rider number 11, back to third. And now that's in danger as Jeff Gibson takes the measure of Pedersen, and Pedersen is dropped back to fourth.
I want to watch Heath Voss go through the whoops. It looks like he drops the front wheel in early instead of jumping in, and that is the case. Instead of jumping in the whoops, he goes ahead and like preloads and sets himself up going to those whoops, and he gets a lot of momentum. Gibson's doing the exact same thing.
Well, Gibson, just a young man, as you pointed out, but an accomplished rider. He's been around. You know what? I interviewed him at an Arenacross event in Columbus, Ohio, when he was 4 years old. I hate to date myself, but that's a fact.
Oh, man. And this guy, he is on the move right now, too. He's working on Voss. These are two guys we talked about in our opening. They are Supercross riders trying to cut their teeth here in Arenacross, trying to get that momentum going into the big show, Supercross.
Rider number 26 is Heath Voss there to the inside. And, oh, man, did he stuff him or what? 275, Jeff Gibson. That was a little more than a block pass.
Oh, man, he's saying you better get your pen and paper, take some notes, because I mean business. Jeff Gibson is on the move right now. Can he catch up with Antunez? Buddy pulled away quite a bit, probably almost a straightaway lead.
I don't know, but, you know, Jeff Gibson is a little tiny guy. And Heath Voss, whoa, rider number 9, Josh Demuth, took a shortcut that proved to be a long cut. As he ran off the track, he's lucky to still be upright. It's Antunez, Gibson, Willow, and Gonzalez. Stevenson rounding out the top 5.
And Demuth did the right thing. Instead of coming back on in a dangerous spot, he putted around, let the guys go, then took back on the track. A very good job by Demuth that time, because it could have caused a lot of problems for a lot of riders.
Yeah, I'll go back and say again, a good job just to keep the motorcycle upright. He's lucky to still be in the race. Now, to quickly finish that sentence I started there about Gibson being a little guy, you don't want to make enemies of great big guys like Heath Voss. And boy, he did with that, not a block pass, but a drill pass a little while ago. Meanwhile, Jeff Willow has worked up to third, and Willow is cutting some fast times around this racetrack.
I think if there's one guy other than Denny Stevenson that Buddy Antunez worries about, is Jeff Willow, because if you give that guy a little bit, you give an inch, he'll take a yard. This guy has a lot of natural talent, probably doesn't train as much as a lot of these guys.
Well, in round number 1, he had good positions at the front of the pack and then faded. But in fairness, we must say that he is coming off injuries, and still he is not 100%. Meanwhile, Buddy Antunez leads. Welcome back to Des Moines, Iowa. Buddy Antunez has had the lead since the get-go, but Jeff Gibson is catching him. Now in third place, it is Jeff Willow. There's Pedro Gonzalez, rider number 6 and 4th. And Gonzalez gets under Willow, and he makes the pass. Denny Stevenson now is right behind Willow in 5th place. And he's looking for easy pickings. He said, heck, Pedro did it. I can do it. And here he comes, right up the inside on the whoops. And, boy, that's what we pointed out a little while ago. Willow just seems to be fading and definitely is tiring. But I think that'll improve as the season goes on.
But look like he's starting to get his weight a little bit forward more, and I think Denny was really out for the kill that time. He saw Pedro got by him. He knew he had to make the move quickly if he has a chance to move it up inside that top 3, and he still knows that Buddy's up there gaining more and more points on him.
Boy, it's early in the season, but every point counts, and Denny knows that oh so well. He just barely was nipped for the championship last year, and boy, he doesn't want to lose any points to Buddy Antunez this early in the going if he can possibly hold on. Now here comes Josh Demuth. Remember, Demuth was off the track one point, back on though and running well. Now here's the gap between rider number 1, Antunez, and Gibson, number 275.
What gap, Larry? Oh, almost getting thrown over the bars that time. You saw that last kicker threw him up. It's going to set Gibson up very well on the outside to go low. The lap rider's causing a problem for him. That's working out for Gibson that time, but he really couldn't take advantage.
Will Buddy Antunez, when he sees Gibson there, he knows he's there, I shouldn't say when, will Antunez maybe let him go and accept second place?
Well, the 125, you got to keep the momentum up, the revs up. He's going to take a little more outsides, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to give Gibson that inside line right there, especially in the whoops, where a guy can just flat track a little bit more and it really make the difference. But he's setting him up, block pass. Yes, sirree.
Now, Gibson has absolutely nothing to lose. He's not going to be around at the tail end of the season, so he can afford to take chances like that. Antunez, on the other hand, is going for the long haul, and my guess is now, well, you might disagree, Robbie, but my guess is I think Buddy will sit back and accept second place rather than go in there and hammer against the aggressiveness of Jeff Gibson.
It wasn't too much acceptance with only 2 laps to go. When he got past, he really squared up that next turn and charged out of it. But right now, Gibson pulling away. If you know Jeff Gibson very much, I always think about 2 years ago, he actually was leading the race. At 16 years old, he was leading the race and broke his shoulder blade. He'd come back just as hard as ever when he was over that injury, and that is Jeff Gibson. He never gives up. He's always charging hard, and I don't care if he's going to Supercross or not. He's going to give it 110.
That's youth for you. Break your shoulder blade and come right back and hit it harder than ever. Yes, sir, he will give it 110. And as we said, he has absolutely nothing to lose here. So you know that he is going for the checkers, going for the bucks that go with it. A little bit of pride. Jeff Gibson come from off the pace to take this one away from, well, who is acknowledged to be the best, oh man, Arenacross rider in the world, Buddy Antunez, and he did it.
Nice heel clicker to finish things out. Boy, you know he started to have to get a little bit nervous there towards the end. Got a little squirrely in the whoop section.
Is he happy or what? Boy, he was waving his arm when he came over that jump. And yeah, there he goes. There he goes again. You bet, kid. You earned it. You can just wave all you want. We'll be back with a winner.
Oh, yeah, you know, it was a battle. You know, I started, I think, like 7th place, and Denny was right behind me. So the whole race, we did a pretty good race. We moved all the way to 3rd and 4th, so I'm pretty happy. You know, my St. Louis Power Sports Kawasaki Pro Store is working great, you know, and I just can't ask for more.
Well, the guy who couldn't ask for any more definitely was Jeff Gibson that time. Watch, this is going to be Gibson's corner. This left-hand turn after the catapult, a great job of block passing Heath Voss, making that left-hand turn, took him all the way up to the top of the berm. Now, this is Gibson's corner. That's what we're going to call it out there tonight, because you remember, when Antunez was out in front in that #1 spot, he sets him up the exact same way. Sets up to the inside. This time, he gives Antunez just a hair more room out there, but taking the win was Jeff Gibson.
Jeff, obviously from your seat, you could see how you were catching Buddy lap after lap. Was there any doubt in the kind of move you were going to make?
Oh, yeah, there's always doubt going in to rub somebody like that, but I just took the chance, and it paid off for me.
Yeah. While you were catching him, what was running through your head?
Just go, go, go. Try to keep on the gas. Try to catch them.
You're pretty happy, aren't you? You're having trouble talking here.
Oh, yeah. This is a big win for me. It's probably the biggest so far. This is awesome. This is great. I love this.
Did you know you could get him?
Oh, yeah. I knew it in my head I could get him. I just had to get a decent start, and that's what I did, and I just tried to run him down.
Boy, he was mowing him down like a John Deere tractor. Gibson taking the win. Buddy Antunez still has not finished out of the top 2 positions in both round number 1 and round number 2. I have to think Buddy's got to be a little disappointed. Let's hear what Buddy has to say about that aggressive move.
Yeah, you know, I had him the same thing the whole time, but once I got into the lappers, he caught me real quick. You know, they couldn't get out of my way in time. There's about 5 of them. And once he got to my wheel, he was able to make the pass and capitalize on a little bit of mistakes I was having. But, you know, I really gave it everything I had. He rode a great race. And
you had settled into a rhythm, it seemed to me, and he had momentum coming after you. And it's hard to break your rhythm to try to pick up the pace once someone gets there.
Yeah, you know, once he got ahead of me, I had to pick up the pace up to his pace. And just, you know, I rode as hard as I could. My Bill's pipe axle, RG3 Suzuki worked great, and I gave it everything I had. He just had a little bit more when we got to the lappers. He was able to capitalize and move on, and I didn't.
He definitely capitalized. Jeff Gibson able to take the 125cc win. He's down there with Miss Arenacross, Michelle Paul-Stevenson. Pedro Speedy Gonzalez able to come in the top 3 tonight, as well as Buddy Antunez. Still on a great roll is Antunez. Coming up next, some of the future stars of tomorrow, the 65cc.